This is Clay Wilson, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
This is Mickey Fulp, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey, this is Beef Boy Elliot Tyler, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
On, on the Indies every Saturday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox. I am your host, James J., alongside Kaliko Yachts.
It's too dark to be by the pool, but I mean, a bonfire is good enough. What's good?
Sounds good to me. Mitch Mayhem
Hey, what up?
and Scooter Dust.
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub.
And unfortunately, it is not a great day for wrestling as we lost a true legend and pioneer in the sport of professional wrestling. Pat Patterson died, I believe, on Wednesday at 79 years old. And I don't think that there's anybody that has contributed more to the sport than Pat Patterson. You know, before there was a WWE writers group, before there was Brian Gewirtz, Vince Russo, Jim Cornette, Bruce Pritchard, there was Pat Patterson and Vince McMahon by the pool, spitballing ideas. Uh, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the Pat Patterson family. Scooter, would you maybe like to elaborate a little bit on Pat Patterson?
Well, of course, we all know Pat Patterson, whether you're an old school wrestling fan or a new school wrestling fan. Pat Patterson, born Pierre Claremont, January 19th, 1941, started out with the WWF as the first ever Intercontinental Champion, winning that alleged tournament in Rio de Janeiro.
It was actually in Rio de Janeiro, Scooter. Kayfabe.
That's why there were air quotes around alleged. But Patterson's biggest contribution to younger fans may be seeing him as a stooge in the Attitude Era, and Poop State and Patterson, which was some really funny stuff. But his biggest contribution to wrestling has to be the Royal Rumble.
Oh, absolutely.
The creator of the Royal Rumble, nobody else at the time was doing it, and a lot. In fact, I'm pretty sure for all of them, Patterson had at least a hand in each Royal Rumble match. His in-ring accomplishments are nothing to be sneezed at either. AWA, Big Time Wrestling, NWA, inducted into the Cauliflower Alley Club, CWF, Loot Internationals, New Japan, Pacific Northwest, PWI Awards. Patterson was made the PWI 500 list in 2003. In the PWI years list, Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, even a WCW title reign, as well as multiple WWE reigns and awards from the Wrestling Observer. Of course, the biggest and most controversial aspect of his life, and let's keep it civil here. But Patterson really was the first openly gay male wrestler.
I believe that's right, yeah.
and he actually had a longtime partner. He was with him for 40 years, from 1958 to 1998. Louis Dondero, who unfortunately passed away on June 28th, 1998, the same night as the 1998 King of the Ring. Patterson legally changed his name from Pierre Clermont to Pat Patterson in 2008, and sometime in the 2010s, Patterson was diagnosed with cancer, although it was unknown at the time really what type it was. And of course, if you've seen any of the tributes on WWE television to Pat Patterson, you know that, well, yes, you're kind of hearing Frank Sinatra singing My Way. No, you're actually hearing Pat Patterson sing it.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was truly a great tribute to a great wrestler. Forget all the stuff, that was heard about him behind the scenes. That's irrelevant. What's relevant is his contribution to this business and how everlasting it will be. And I really don't think there will be anybody who will contribute so much to this business as Pat Patterson ever will.
Mitch, do you want to add something to that?
He hit it all pretty well. I mean, yeah. First off, about the Poop St. Patterson thing, the joke with that was, and then on top of that, he would stink face people with it. So, yeah. He's great. He was a legend. I mean, what more can you say? It's by the Roddy Piper wrestler age scale, that unfortunately is just the fact and truth of what's happening today. And the health of certain wrestlers, many people don't live past 64, and so he lived a full life, and rest in peace.
And Kalika, you want to top us off?
Well, shoot. I got three things, and they'll be brief. One, if you haven't seen one, he really, really was like the karaoke guy. Like it was funny because like you hear all these stories about him. He did a nice Louis Armstrong. He loved Sinatra's "My Way." It's a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. Those two were like his ace in the pocket songs, if you will. B, that tribute is like, honestly, you can hate WWE, but they go balls to the wall. Like they are second to none with their tributes and production. It's just like bananas. I was watching that like 4 or 5 times, and it's just like, yo, that's just deep, right?
Definitely gets the
And then-
box going.
Oh yeah, it kind of gets your tears flowing a little bit. And thirdly, with in regards, because like with what Scooter said, there was a lot of like back chatter on like his personal life and his transgressions. And the one thing I want to say about that is that one, no human is perfect, and then two, we can hold two thoughts at the same time, right? When Martin Luther King, and I might get flack, but when Martin Luther King Day comes, no one thinks about Martin Luther King the sexist, Martin Luther King the womanizer, Martin Luther King the cheater. They just think about all of the contributions that he contributed towards, humanity, and rightfully so. And to me, I just wish that we kind of got out of this binary thing where it has to be one or the other. You can hold two thoughts. Did he do some shit allegedly that could have been jacked up? Yes, but that doesn't offset any of his contributions, including The move, including the most known move everyone does now is the super kick. The only reason it's even known like that because Shawn Michaels got the super kick. Shawn Michaels only got the super kick as a finisher because Pat Patterson told him to do it as a super kick. Because if you remembered, his finisher was like a teardrop backbreaker or teardrop suplex.
Yeah, yep, teardrop suplex.
And he literally was saying Pat Patterson because his setup was the super kick, and Pat Patterson was like, "Why don't you just use that as the finish?" Like or I would try to imitate him, the super kick, the pata, like that. And now that move is like the most like done move other than the power bomb or the DDT. So that's just like the genius of Pat Patterson.
Absolutely. And I think that's a good way to, end this tribute. And again, thoughts and prayers go out to the Pat Patterson family. And on a maybe a lighthearted note, last week we were not on, but you did get that bonus interview with Mickey Fulp, and we also interviewed Clay Wilson last week. Those were two really good interviews with two incredible personalities. Clay is actually going for tag team championship opportunity on the 7th of December. And I believe Mickey Fulp is in a cruiserweight tournament as we speak, correct, Scooter?
Yes, I have that. Oh, yeah, where's that?
Yeah.
I have the information up here.
So, Wrestling with Entertainment, absolutely. We support you. We support both guys. That is awesome. We hope they get the gold. And coming up on the 9th, we have Holden Albright, Big Scary. He might be called Big Scary, but he was probably one of the nicest guys we've ever met. Correct, Scooter?
Oh, absolutely. Even got us to the point where we were arguing amongst ourselves who was the bigger Star Wars nerd. I am, of course.
We'll see. We'll talk about that. I mean, that's bled into text message conversations, but let's keep it on Holden.
No, but seriously, fun guy, and independent talent. People have some people have this preconceived notion that that they aren't people, and
Holden is
most
definitely a person.
And most people forget that they're real people who do the real same stuff as us, and it was just an absolute blast.
On the 16th, we have Masha Slamovic and Vic, yeah,
Bitch.
And me and Scooter.
Yes. No, yeah, I'm joking. I'm joking.
We actually stayed. I stayed up until 2 a.m. and Scooter actually stayed up till 5 a.m. to conduct that interview. Because Masa is currently resigning in Tokyo, Japan. And there are some incredible stories that you just have to hear. No spoilers. Masa, an incredible athlete, an incredible person, and one of the most interesting interviews we've done to date.
I think I would probably say our most PG-13 interview.
It could have gone to all very quickly.
Yeah.
And on the 23rd, we have Jack Stevens, the Ripper. No spoilers. If you're a fan of Wrestling with Entertainment, that is the interview you want to listen to. Jack, an incredible guy, once again. Funny interview, and again, you do not want to miss the stories that this guy has told us. And that's your December interview list for the next 3 weeks. And I think it's about time we get into the show. We are wrestling with NXT War Games preview. War Games is actually on tomorrow, and we're kind of doing things differently. Usually we end with the reviews and the previews, but there's a lot of shit to talk about, so we're gonna start out with it. So we are going to start with the main event. The Undisputed Era versus Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan in a War Games match. Who wins, Mitch?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the matchup?
The Undisputed Era versus Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan in a War Games match.
Undisputed Era.
Scooter?
Something tells me something is gonna go down. I think this is the potential undoing of the Undisputed Era, and at least for I think probably at least for Adam Cole, because I think after this, if Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish don't move to the main roster, then what the hell are they doing with them? So I'm gonna go with the Kings of NXT.
And Kaliko?
Man, Undisputed Era 1-1 in these matches. I feel like it should be called the Undisputed. Huh?
They've been in 3, I believe.
Oh, they've been in 3. I know they've been in the first one, and they've
been
won
in all of them.
Really?
Yeah, because the first one was 3 on
the
3
first
on 3.
one. The first one was the 3 with Roderick Strong. Then you had the one with Ricochet and Kevin Owens in 18, right?
That was
then
2019.
2019.
And then the one.
Wait a minute, what? Yeah, the one we were in LA.
Which was Pete Dunne and.
Pete Dunne in them, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So to me, I'm gonna go Undisputed Era only because the way that they had the story set up with them in the limo, going to dinner, talking about this is their biggest test yet, and that their legacy is on the line. And I must admit, it is kind of their legacy on the line. It's very rare that NXT, if they move them up, that they move up on their, with a win. But I think Undisputed Era would be the exception to the rule. So I'm going to go Undisputed Era.
All right.
Heart's going that way.
I mean, I feel like we've had this conversation like 100 times this year where, we think the Undisputed Era or Adam Cole or just Bobby Fish and
or Gargano,
they're going to go to the main roster.
That's not the case. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it hasn't been the case. So unless it actually happens, I don't think I'm going to speculate about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True. And here's the funny thing, because when Keith Lee moved up, he did an interview where he felt like he actually said he felt like he abandoned the NXT locker room.
It was super sudden when he went.
It was rather quick, though, because he literally hit the peak and was just gone, right? So usually they have to have, like, those mainstay guys. So to me, Undisputed Era, Ciampa, Gargano. are the mainstay guys. So that's why I think Undisputed Era would win.
Alright. Next up, Team Shotzi Blackheart, which is Shotzi Blackheart, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, and Ember Moon wrestles Team Candice LeRae, which is Candice LeRae, Tony Storm, Roxelle Gonzalez, and Dakota Kai. Mitch Mayhem,
Right.
who wins?
Man, that was a lot of words for the ADHD mind. Sorry, I heard Dakota Kai. Sorry, say that one more time.
Team Shotzi Blackheart versus Team Candice LeRae War Games match.
Team Shotzi, because her and Rhea Ripley and a few others, they kind of they fit. Like, if they wear the goth makeup and everything, they fit as a team. So I'll go with them.
Okay, that's an interesting way to
Why
determine
not?
a match.
It's WWE. Oh, that's what I was going to. It's WWE. I mean, okay, I have an announcement to make, but I'll make it later on, so we can talk about something else now. But yeah,
Alright,
I got something to say later though.
Scooter.
Raquel Gonzalez, Tony Storm, Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae. Ripley is the star to watch out for. It's kind
Believe it or
of
not,
it's actually a sign of great faith that they're putting Shotzi at the front of this as the captain. I think it shows they show a lot in her. And when it comes to the women's war games matches, the faces you always have triumphed. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Team Shotzi. Yeah.
What about you, Kaliko?
Oh, I honestly, I feel like both teams are mismatched in a sense because I feel like Tony would be better on Team
Blackheart.
Blackheart.
Yeah.
That's why so it's hard to decipher because there's no continuity. The only continuity is basically
bingo, no continuity.
The only continuity really is Dakota Kai and Raquel.
If you want to call that continuity.
I'm talking about as far as like
right.
They know how to work as a team.
Right.
So, but LeRae was the survivor last year, and now she's the captain. I'm gonna go with LeRae. And I've been saying this for months, but goddamn it, they're gonna give the Garganos a night. They gotta give them a night. For fuck's sake, they're gonna get a night.
I think they're gonna have to take that night. Not be given it.
And
I think that's gonna be tomorrow.
Okay. And Scooter, said about it. Shotzi Blackheart is at the main front of this rivalry. It's her team. Does this kind of mean like Shotzi is kind of getting that rub, and maybe Rhea is kind of fading into the background?
I was just about to say you're missing the bigger picture. That was, in my opinion, that was Rhea's spot. I think they're giving Rhea's spot to Shotzi.
Well, technically, it was what was her name?
I mean, the whole goth gimmick and everything,
What's the girl that broke her leg a couple of times?
Tegan Knox?
Tegan Knox. Yeah, this was Tegan Knox.
That's funny that's how we define her now. Wow.
I think she tore her ACL again.
Yeah, so this was Tegan Knox's
injury
spot. And they kind of gave it to Shotzi because Tegan got injured. So that's kind of why she's in this spot. You know what I mean?
But what matters is if you take those opportunities and you run with them, and she did. She proved herself.
But this also goes back to Shotzi and Candice from Halloween Havoc. And
that was a good feud.
The tank.
Right.
So
they definitely made it personal real quick.
As you should with a wrestling feud.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I mean, eventually, just have some visceral reaction, yeah.
All right, Mitch. We got Leon Ruff versus Damian Priest versus Johnny Gargano, triple threat North American Championship match.
Ooh.
Wins.
Who holds the title? Priest?
Leon Ruff.
Ah! Ah! Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a thing there, but
Johnny Gargano, dude.
Scooter.
And I know, real quick, Leon Ruff isn't he the discount price Leon Rush?
Yes, he is.
Yep.
Uh,
Half off of height. Sorry, go ahead.
This almost seems like it's a lock for Gargano, which is why I'm gonna say Leon Ruff completely by accident.
That is a good one.
That
Kaliko.
seems to be the story of his life. Ouch.
Kaliko.
I feel like it's Gargano, and here's why. If you remember about 4 years ago, I want to say, maybe even, no, about 3 years ago, you remember AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, James Ellsworth?
Yep.
I feel like this was what the main roster was trying to go with it, where Damian was trying to use this as a joke to Gargano, or as a joke, and him and Leon Ruff are literally bumping heads because of the simple fact that Leon Ruff doesn't see it as a joke. So that's where I think Gargano is going to take advantage and pin Ruff, and that's why I think it's basically the continuation of the Priest Gargano. So Gargano pins Ruff, gets the belt, and then Priest and Gargano can kind of go back to where they were.
Actually, now that Kaliko brings that up, something just came into my mind. You know what? I'm gonna change it to Gargano, and I'm gonna say that Ruff lays down for Gargano, and it's a big F you to Priest.
Ew. That would be, yeah, that would just be bad wrestling, but I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. But you know what? That would be the only way Johnny Gargano would win this match, because as we know,
I don't know about that.
Johnny Gargano doesn't win takeover matches. I mean, he's 4-20. So I mean,
What are you talking about?
Even more reason why maybe it might happen this time.
North American title matches, though.
And it's a North American title match. It's one that counts.
He's only lost one.
Bingo.
I mean, he won. If this was on a normal episode of NXT, Johnny Gargano has a chance to win. It's on Takeover. He has no chance of winning.
He's fucking Mr. Takeover. What are you talking
But
about?
what? What if that's exactly done to throw you off? For people who think that. So they do the exact opposite.
So, and I don't see them giving
That would be smart.
Priest the
Sorry.
championship back right now. I don't say that he's not going to get it back. But you know what? Leon Ruff is actually having a nice little run.
Oh, will you fucking shove it with this Leon Ruff?
A nice little run. He actually defended the belt. What the hell are you talking about?
He is the runs. He's the drizzling shits.
And I think this might be where Priest kind of knocks out Gargano. Leon Ruff somehow gets Priest out of the ring and actually pins Gargano. Or maybe vice versa. I don't know. But I do see Leon Ruff winning this match. But that's just my opinion. Alright,
Yeah.
Mitch, you
I
ready?
don't see Leon Ruff winning his way out of a paper bag. So.
Dexter Lumis versus Cameron Grimes in a strap match. Mitch, who wins?
Cameron Grimes and who? I'm sorry.
Dexter Lumis.
Ooh. Dexter Lumis.
Scooter?
This is another match where an accidental victory can happen.
Yeah.
And Loomis is on quite a bit of a role right now.
Momentum matters.
I don't think a loss here by happenstance would actually hurt. So I'm gonna say Grimes.
But it wouldn't help his momentum. I mean, I think someone like that who's on a roll, I think that's just a hindsight of what's to come for the future. So that's why I think he's going to win.
What about you, Kaliko?
I think it's Grimes because think about it. This dude's been in everything this year. Like,
Cue the move.
lo and behold, he's having a quiet ass solid year. So I think Cameron Grimes, baby, to the moon. To the moon.
Behind. Well, I mean, given 2020, I mean, since Adam Cole had a couple of few great moments, but I would say that the top 3 hardest working people in NXT are Priest, Gargano, and Grimes.
I mean, he literally ran back to the arena from that House of Horrors match. I mean, that is dedication and a hell of a cardio, if you ask me. I think one thing we may be forgetting was then a couple weeks on NXT, somebody drew Finn Balor into a portrait that Dexter Lumis made. Am I wrong on that?
Oh,
I think it was Thatcher.
well, it's because because Thatcher's got Ciampa.
Yeah, Thatcher's got Ciampa.
Right. Well,
that is a good idea.
What I wanted
I'm trying to.
Yeah, so could maybe somebody interfere to cost Loomis the match so Cameron Grimes actually gets the victory here? That could be a possibility.
That's not out of a possibility.
I see Balor more in interfering in Ciampa Thatcher and us getting Balor and Ciampa.
That would be a good one. And how about we get to that match? Mitch, Tommaso Ciampa, Timmy Thatcher, who wins?
Oh, man. I want Tommaso Ciampa to win, but something tells me maybe Thatcher.
What makes you think that?
He's Timothy Thatcher.
That's a good reason. Scooter?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Thatcher.
Kaliko?
He's a fucking beast.
Ciampa, because the only way he could get to the chip is by getting the win. So Ciampa.
My heart is for Ciampa. I just Thatcher's a beast. I don't know.
Oh no, not knocking him, but I feel like Ciampa hit his low point with Karrion Kross.
Right.
So this is his redemption back up.
Maybe.
Now, what I want to say is, every match on this card kind of makes sense. But Ciampa and Thatcher kind of seem drawn together. I mean, there's no really rhyme or reason why Ciampa wants to wrestle Thatcher other than he wants to. That could be setting up a championship shot between either one of these guys versus Balor, but I don't know. This seems kind of like the sleeper match. Am I wrong on thinking that?
The tone setting match.
No, that sounds about right.
This will be the opening match.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, and then it will probably be 5 stars.
I mean,
It'd be
we'll
more
see.
in Tokyo Dome. And I believe that will be our coverage of.
They're gonna open with a War Games match.
Probably the.
Probably the women's.
Yeah, didn't they open with the women's last year? I believe.
I think so.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
When Mia Yim was still there, yeah.
Yep.
And
Man, did they ruin her career? But sorry, go ahead.
we will conclude our coverage of NXT War Games, and we will have the review next week on the show. Now we are wrestling with this week in news, and a lot of shit happened, if you ask me. So
Yeah, there's so much stuff that I forgot of everything. I was like trying to recall it.
But let's start with something that happened that is very old news to us. 2 weeks ago was Survivor Series. We wasn't on last week. So can we get maybe your brief thoughts on the show as a whole, Scooter?
It seemed very off. It seemed just a step off, and it was average in terms of Survivor Series events. Yes, Raw got a clean sweep, and again,
Surprise.
Again, SmackDown comes out looking inferior. I mean,
'Cause it is.
I mean, at least in terms of talent wise.
Right. I know what you mean.
But like everything, it was again just off. It made Drew McIntyre look like I don't want to say a bitch, but
Yeah, kind of.
that shouldn't have been how McIntyre lost. With Jay's interference, yes, I agree on that. The referee stoppage. Oh God, it's and then bringing everybody out at the end for the Undertaker, only to send them all the way back because they were breaking the law live on the air.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say. If I can, real quick, that's something I was forgetting. Who would have thought this to me? It's just like the most backwards thing, but the dead man found God.
Yeah, he's
Sorry, I had to say it. It's true.
it's a little funny.
It's pretty fucking funny. I saw him talking to a pastor the other day.
Yeah, those are old. It seems
Huh?
those are old interviews.
No, this one was new, actually.
Oh, I have to check
This
that
was a
out.
newer one, yeah.
Was that your last thoughts, Scooter?
Yeah.
What about you, Kaliko? What was your thoughts on the show?
My predictions got swapped. I mean, I kind of figured it was going to be that way. Roman getting the win was something we didn't see coming. That match actually was really better than I thought because when you think about Roman and Drew at WrestleMania 35, that was not like everybody's go-to. So
It wasn't Michael versus Hart at WrestleMania 12.
Exactly. So to me it did better. It did seem a bit off. I just the tempo. It was just the way that they had the tempo. The tempo was kind of off, and I guess because they were just trying to hurry up to get to what everyone got there for, which was the Taker retirement. Which I mean, the hologram shit was dope. So
yes,
I give him that. But overall, I give it like a B minus B show. It's pretty good.
Alright, now that we got the old news out of the way, time for some new news. Sting joins AEW.
Oh, dude.
Don't really, it's awesome that Sting's there, but I always kind of falter to, do you really want to bring in older talent?
Okay, but here, hold on. This is different. I'll tell you why. Because he might maybe one or two matches in the future, but as of right now, he's being brought in as a character. He's
Right.
not going to be a wrestler.
And that's actually something I liked.
And it fits because he's Sting. He can tell a story with his eyes. He don't need to say shit. And that's exactly what he did. When he honestly, I'm not joking. This is the first time in years that I've had goosebumps or chills. Just from how his mannerisms and stuff. There's just the Sting mannerisms of that cold stare, and then how he kneeled down or he stared down at everyone in the corner, and then when he got to Cody and Darby, it was like he was looking in their soul to say, okay, what does everyone see about you? Well, let's see if you're the real thing or if you're a scam. You know what I mean? Like he was looking in their soul.
Maybe.
Well,
I love that shit.
in Sting's contract, he is not taking any bumps.
There you go. Like I said, it's a story, and he's a good character. So I think it's a good pickup.
It's
He
essentially
has 30 years of hurting his body. I think he deserves it.
It's essentially the Stone Cold Sheriff role. He's going to be.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
I mean, hearing Tony Schiavone go like that, it was just it brought everything back. I can say with 51% certainty that we will get one match
In the future.
of and it will happen in March 2021 to celebrate. And by the way, Shivani and
But he'll be there as a character. Yeah,
we're wrong. It's been 19 years, not 18, since Sting's last appearance on TNT, and
damn.
we are most likely going to get a Sting Chris Jericho match.
Yeah, let's do it. That's
March,
something I've been wanting to see for years.
In March 2021, that
would be awesome.
Of what is expected to be a tribute to Nitro.
Cool.
It's funny that, Jericho and Sting was in WCW.
Oh, so I'm sure Eric Bischoff will be
20-some years ago. And they've never actually had a match with each other. And that just goes to show you how inept Eric Bischoff was at that time to have a talent like Jericho and not put him against him.
Okay, here's the thing with Bischoff. He was nepotism. He helped his friends. Yeah, he helped his friends.
Kaliko, what are your thoughts on Sting joining AEW?
It depends on how they use them. To me, what AEW really does is
I think they started really well, actually.
The one thing that they do really well is bringing in older talent to try to uplift their new talent.
Tully, yeah.
But the problem is, it's just trying to get those new talent to connect to average people, if that makes sense.
But with someone like Sting, you can have him be a character to carry the like be a carrying character for the show, and you can build your show around his character. He doesn't have to wrestle, like we were saying. He's a great character. He can tell a story with his eyes. But go ahead, sir.
I get that, but my thing is, who is he going to it sounds like he's going to connect it to our boy Darby Allin.
I'm just gonna say, it sounds like Darby's first.
The way he looked at him was like a dad who went and got
That's what I'm
cigarettes
saying.
20 years ago and he just got back. You know,
dude, that's like an actor. Like people you don't see those looks, like those in depth. Like there's something behind the eyes. Like you can tell what he's thinking. Kind of looks. You don't get that anymore.
He looked at Darby last.
Right,
and
that mattered.
What I think is going to happen?
He went side to side. Yeah,
is eventually we're gonna really see it play out through their faces.
Who is this kid? Yeah,
and eventually we're gonna see that other side of Darby Allin's face start to get filled in.
That'd be interesting.
And
because he did look at both sides. That's right.
Darby's gonna take on Sting's makeup.
I didn't even realize that. Okay, so that makes perfect sense now that Sting looked at both sides of his face. Okay.
Now my only drawback is, I just wish they hadn't gave him the TNT title.
Yeah, I so much agree. Holy shit.
Because to me, that when they did that, it cornered him as a mid-carder.
Yeah, I agree with you.
When I felt like and I'm not saying that he's going to be a mid-carder forever, but I don't
see him as anything more than an upper carder.
I felt like him winning the championship would be more of a
no, not
now. But I'm talking about building himself. What I'm saying is him fulfilling his character, getting on a roll to get to the championship. Let's say like he didn't have the title. Kenny Omega's running through everybody, and this guy somehow pulls it off one time. You see what I'm saying? That would be a big moment, right? That would be like a holy-ish moment, because Kenny Omega, by wrestling standards, is like among the best of the world. And for him to get caught by that guy would be a big deal, especially if you see Darby Allin progress to that point. But to me, when he's the TNT champion, it almost feels like he's kind of plateaued, and Sting helping him is only going to help him to retain the championship rather than aspire to a goal. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense.
Yeah.
So that's where my confusion was. That's my only drawback, is that I wish he didn't have the title so he could aspire to the title. You see what I'm saying?
Is there a possibility we could maybe see Sting inspiring Darby to give up the title and go on that role you were talking about? And that part's finished.
No, go ahead. I can't see that because of the simple fact that he just got the title. So that's where, like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
I wasn't implying right now.
Oh yeah. But he would have to have like a hell of a lengthy reign, and to me, I don't see that in the cards. I feel like if he didn't have the title, Sting came in, changed his life, then he aspired to a title, whether it be the TNT title or the World Championship. I felt like that progression would be natural, rather than him already being the champion and it only enhancing his character, because in essence, I feel like the character of Darby Allin would make the title more so than the title making Darby Allin.
This is AEW's biggest flaw. They get someone on fire, and then it just fizzles out, like with Orange Cassidy.
Right.
Darby Allin. Darby Allin was on fire for a hot minute.
And you could probably say that they're both back on fire again. I mean,
Private Party.
So
Lance Archer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Cassidy.
I mean, we could go. The list goes on that spectrum. But hey, now that Sting is maybe helping Darby Allin, maybe somebody will actually know who he is at a supermarket.
I think it's a little premature to say that, but we'll see.
There's also the possibility that AEW will screw this up. I'm surprised. I'm surprised nobody said. I'm surprised Shivani, Ross, or Excalibur didn't say. But whose side is he on?
Right.
Right.
For all we know.
Oh, the whole Bobby Heenan.
For all we know, what if Sting's a mole?
Ooh. The black
That
stripes
would be
become yellow.
that would be killing the hero part of his character, but yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well,
he's an anti-hero, so.
But anti-hero with pride, in he's a good hat anti-hero.
The tagline of the show was "Winter is coming." Winter came,
right?
And it was Sting.
I mean, I don't think of winter with Sting, but okay.
I mean, yeah. It was also Game of Thrones.
I like the new music,
tagline, but there were no dragons or titties, so.
Let's get on to the other big thing that happened on that show. Kenny Omega won the AEW World Championship from Jon Moxley with the help of Don Callis. And of course,
Jackal.
Don Callis said,
I'm always going to call him the Jackal.
Find out what happens on Tuesday, which is Impact Wrestling. Now, if you don't have the Access TV, which I do actually have it, you're not going to find out what happens on Tuesday. Am I not wrong on this?
You're right, but real quick, someone go ahead.
Most cable companies, as far as I know, now carry Access TV. I have it here in New York. So plus also you got to remember Mark Cuban's behind Access TV.
That's
so
right.
Plus there's also the Twitch stream, which will probably be running around the clock now. But I want to know what the hell came out of Don Callis when Moxley struck him, because it looked like rose petals.
Yeah, it was rose petals. There was like a little flower on his suit, and it just kind of exploded when he pushed him.
Like I thought that was a handkerchief. Like, and it just like.
So, real quick, my takeaway, with the Omega situation, obviously it was amazing. Are we to that point right now, or what?
All right, I'm gonna say it.
I had something to say about that, but okay, I was just asking first.
It's just like it seemed like a big FU.
Okay.
To AEW.
So here's what I think. If they're smart businessmen, this is what's happening. Okay, Omega goes to Impact. You know what? If I'm AEW, I'm getting that damn women's division of Impact to help AEW.
That's actually not a bad idea.
That's Impact is way better than AEW, and it fits.
That's one of the probably
they need to do that.
That's one of, if only, the solid benefits.
So give them Kenny and then get the women out of it. It helps.
But this is essentially an NWO angle, and
I understand. I'm just saying they can help each other here.
I mean. This shouldn't have been Kenny. It shouldn't have. I mean, it's
the new heel version, but yeah.
Yeah, was the biggest lobbyist for competition in terms of television, and he gets it, and essentially he's he's one of the he's the founding father of AEW, and now he's gonna go, and now he sells out to Impact. I think this really could have been done with someone else. And
he does make a good point about the sellout part. Yeah, that hurts his reputation. But yeah,
You want to continue, Scooter?
it's just
I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
No, I was, but it keeps playing over in my head. Yeah, Kenny's gonna show up in that empty arena in Nashville, and like, yeah, this isn't 1996, you know, and Omega doing this, you know. I've seen people like, oh, it's what the WWE should have done with John Cena and blah blah blah. No, it's not. It's I would have, if it was Moxley and it turned the other way around. I think it would have made a lot more sense and had a lot more impact. Even if it was Jericho who did it.
Jericho actually has a relationship with Chalice as well.
So it's just.
What about you, Kaliko? What are your thoughts on this whole deal that happened?
I was disappointed in that match. Not in the sense of how it went down, but more in the sense that Kenny, whether he was a good guy or a bad guy, his premise is that he's the best wrestler in the world, hands down, point blank, period. And me being a Kenny Omega guy, I'm expecting him to just straight up wear that ass out the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, it fell short to me on that part. I get why Don Callis was there, because if you check Don Callis's history, he's the biggest Kenny Omega mark probably in the world. So it made sense. It made sense in that regard. To me, I feel like everybody thinks this is going to be a future working. Everything that I'm looking at, it screams one off as a favor, because I can't. I mean, yeah, they might have Kenny come and then they'll have another person go to AEW to help out, but I don't see it as a ROH New Japan situation where they were literally like going back and forth. You know what I mean? So until I see that happen, I can only take it as face value of that part. I can't go into the deep end of what it could be until Tuesday, which, I mean, whoever ain't got access, you can watch it on the internet illegally like everyone else, because that's the only way your ass gonna catch that shit.
We're looking at right now the potential, like marquee match is Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega, which, while no doubt in my mind it would be a great match,
That would be.
it's not a marquee match in the sense that it could put butts in seats, so to speak.
It's not going to be a Hollywood blockbuster kind of match like Brett and Shawn, something that grabs new people who wouldn't normally watch wrestling.
No.
And that's my problem too.
Your marquee
with
match
Impact.
and the reason that Kenny Omega went to Impact is because AJ Styles has returned to Impact.
Oh, don't give me that with
Oh,
CJ
don't
Swoggle.
you do that. Don't
what?
you dare.
No.
Stop
Yes,
it.
I
Stop
totally would
it.
go.
Stop. Stop. Just stop.
Hornswoggle dressing up as AJ Styles does not count.
How did it? Wait, how is it?
Just
How is
damn
that allowed? That's gimmick infringement. What the fuck?
Well, AJ Styles owns AJ Styles.
I
so
know, but
technically-
okay, WWE owns the likeness of AJ. Can they sue? I mean,
No, they don't. They don't own AJ Styles.
They don't own his
shit.
like.
Oh shit.
They don't own like a lot. That's why you see a lot of the wrestlers go in with their actual names now, or with their actual wrestling names. Because, I mean,
I believe
like-
AJ is one of the few who actually retained his own rights.
right, like
Okay,
Samoa
man.
Joe,
Okay. certain
AJ
people
Styles,
can't-
Samoa
Certain
Joe.
people can't if they have enough pull before they get signed, they can work that deal, but not everyone can. So someone like AJ, he could probably have worked, and he
But
did.
when you look at the last couple of years, think about it: Riddle, AJ Styles,
Well,
Nakamura,
but I'm talking about
Samoa Joe.
around the time AJ was signed. Not many people got that.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Another thing that happened this week, we got NWA Shockwave. Not exactly what I was kind of expecting. Wasn't really power. Did you watch it, Kaliko?
Yeah, but it's lacking because a lot of their people are gone, man.
I'm
Like
just
Ricky,
gonna say,
Ricky
how
Stark.
can they have real quick? How could they have a show when they don't have a roster? Really, all the wrestlers are in different areas. Like, do they still have like Thunder Rosa and those people who went to AEW?
Oh
A
no,
couple.
Rosa's gone. Sienna's
the-
gone.
Thunder Rose is still there.
Or
See,
She
so
ain't-
they
she
are
ain't-
working double. Okay,
she ain't there. She's
but
there
technically,
in
she's
jest.
on roster.
She
Is that what I'm asking?
she there in jest, not there in
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Anderson,
But-
Ken Anderson.
I mean,
He wasn't on the first episode, so we don't
Well,
really
I
know.
mean, is he still there now?
Ricky Starks is
Never
gone.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Starks is gone.
Now,
Allison Kay is gone. Thunder Rosa's
Magnus might
flip
be the
flopping.
only solid. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Thunder Rosa's flip flopping. So it's
And is James Storm still there?
I couldn't tell you.
Exactly.
I mean, the only standouts are Nick Aldis and Mike Bennett, really, and Eli Drake.
Camille.
Yeah.
And Camille.
Camille.
You know,
Um,
they announced the matches for next week, and they announced Thunder Rosa as still NWA champion, which means that it's an old recorded match. So that kind of turned me off of the show because I already know that happened like years ago at this point.
Right.
Yep.
But I think she's a free agent, bro. I honestly think she's a free agent.
Plus, the fact that they're calling it NWA Shockwave. For those of you that don't know, NWA Shockwave was formerly known as NWA Cyberspace or the Cyberspace Wrestling Federation. Now, I knew the owner of the original NWA Shockwave, Billy Firehawk, not from wrestling, but from my time in the Rocky Horror Picture Show because he was a part of a cast, and when he passed all those years ago, we held a memorial for him. So calling it NWA Shockwave, trying to elicit like this, potential like relic of the past, of a roster that had people like AJ Styles, Abyss, CM Punk, James Storm, Shark Boy, Sanjay Dutt, who is now a full-time WWE agent, by the way, Bobby Roode, and all these guys, and it really fell flat.
It really did.
It fell flat because it's like they're trying to make that. it's like spades. They try to make that jack of clubs walk, and ain't nothing walking with them jack of clubs. Like they need talent, and I know a lot of it is COVID driven, but I just wish like they tried to retain some of that talent because they were on the up and up. It ain't like they weren't going to be number two, but they were going to be a legit company.
Right. And speaking of free agents, Davey Boy Smith is now a free agent. Where do you see this guy going, if anywhere? Scooter?
Well, I mean, considering he was making appearances on WWE programming while still under MLW contract, I honestly, I see him more going to AEW.
You connect with Lance Archer?
Possibly. Me. Oh God, who is Brian Pillman Jr.'s partner in the Southern or whatever the
I usually don't know.
now
Actually, don't
who
know that.
and I see like him teaming with Brian Pillman Jr. as a second generation team. But considering that he's now a free agent, and since the 2020 Hall of Fame is going to get condensed into the 2021 Hall of Fame, he's who I expect.
Real quick, they kind of already did the New Heart Foundation before the Teddy Hart thing,
Yeah, but I see Davey Boy Smith Jr. being the one who inducts his father.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I think that's a no-brainer.
What about you, Mitch? What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
And,
that's why. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what I just said. He echoed what I think. So,
Right. And Kalika, you want to top us off?
No, I think Scooter took her. He got all the answers, man.
because he went first.
He got all the answers.
And one other thing that's going on, the New Japan World Tag League and Best of Super Juniors is coming up. Haven't watched it all, but
you don't even want to know, bro. Like
what?
As much as
okay, so finish that. Let me hear this.
Okay, let's get this straight.
Yeah, tell me.
The Super Juniors is going to expect it as I expected, right? Takahashi Ishimori. Show's coming in, he's doing okay. El Desperado. The heavy hitters are doing what they do. Dookie is literally Dookie in this tournament, right? So the people who are, doing their thing is doing their thing. Now the tag league, Toro Yano is in first place or tied for first place. The king of pro wrestling.
What is she?
Is tied.
I mean, he's not alone in this.
I get it. He's tied for first place with Sonata and Takagi. He's tied with Sabre Jr. and Taichi. And Tangaloa, the God is back, so they're doing their thing. Finn Juice is the defending champ, so you knew they were going to kind of do some things. Yoshi-Hashi and Hiroki Goto actually have a decent record in this tournament, and I just don't like the fact that Yoshi-Hashi has any kind of winning record in this tournament. So somebody just needs to go ahead and break his legs so we can go ahead and just call this a night.
But what are your
Meanwhile, Bad Luck Fale is back, and they just treat him like shit. But whatever,
Yes.
whatever.
What are your real thoughts on Yoshihashi, Kaliko?
Fuck Yoshihashi. Because he looks like he doesn't care sometimes. It seems like he walks to the ring uninterested. Like, it's just a job. Okay. Fuck off. At least with Yano, I know, his bit. I get his angle. Taichi, I get his bit. I get his angle. Hashi is just like, do you care? Do you not care? Sometimes you're hot, you're cold, you're yes, you're no, you're in, you're out. You're
Yeah.
He's a Katy
see what
Perry
I'm
song.
Where are you?
He's basically Katy Perry songs. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
My sister, my daughter, my sister, my daughter. No.
The only thing he can hang on to is the fact that he beat Kenny Omega. What feels like forever. What feels like 20 years ago.
Might as well call them extraterrestrial. Since we're on the Katy Perry thing. Yeah, anyway.
That's a good
You know
one.
what I'm saying? Dark horse. He ain't a dark horse.
Okay, we can do this all night.
We absolutely can. But I think we should conclude our coverage for tonight. If you
Sometimes
that
you
was
just
the
need
quick
to
run.
smile. The new one.
That was
Anyway.
my quick New Japan. That was
Sorry,
the New
I'll
Japan.
stop.
That was New Japan in like 2 minutes. There you go.
If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, and comment both on YouTube and Castbox. Catch our interview with Holden Albright this Wednesday during NXT and Dynamite. And you can also follow us on Twitter. You can find me at JamesJ993. Where can they find Kaliko?
I'm Kaliko because I'm finally like in my house now, so I can actually do shit instead of like spending 3 weeks trying to move and shit.
In your house, Coleco Vision.
Where can
I'm going to pitch. I'm pitching that to WWE, just for the record.
Go for it, dude.
Where can they find Mitch Mayhem and Mitch Mayhem tweeted?
At Mitch Mayhem X.
And where can they find Scooter Dust?
At Scooter Dust and hold it down for the UNB network at UNBS Wrestling.
For Kaliko Yachts, Mitch Mayhem, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.